Thank you, Srikanth, for that warm welcome. And a warm welcome to all of you here. It's such a pleasure to be with you all. Yesterday, when some of you came in from the airport and we were walking towards dinner, one of them said, hey, this is such a pleasant campus and this tranquil and serene setting, and to have this bunch of social innovators, these change makers together as a group, when all around us in the newspapers, I mean, all these challenges, the scams, people together trying to make a difference, trying to make a change. It's a wonderful experience. I'm not explaining anything more than that, but just that is a positive feeling. So it felt good to be part of the group, and thank you for making that experience possible. So I will have formal remarks tomorrow morning when we have the formal opening of the conference. But today, I just want to kind of give you a brief update in terms of what we've been up to, a little bit about what we are about, because I see some new faces here. We have quite a few of the old faces from the people who came to the forum last January, but some new ones who joined us during the course of the last year. Let me kind of, again, begin with how this thing, this organization began. This began as a series of interactions with Mr. Sam Pitroda, who quite a few of you would know is the advisor to the Prime Minister of India and the chairman of India's National Innovation Council. And about 7 years ago or so, I had met him at an IIT alumni conference in the US. And since then, I've been loosely in touch with him. The last few years, those interactions became more frequent and focused, leading to the launch of this organization last January. And the mission of the organization being kind of focused on working with young social innovators in different sectors, education, healthcare, energy, livelihoods, agriculture, and how do you scale the impact of their work by leveraging technology, by leveraging government, and what have you. So it was identifying people who had already taken the first step in terms of making a change. One of Sam's favorite quotation is that everybody wants to be an advisor to the Prime Minister. Nobody wants to do a damn thing. And so here are people who have seen problems around them, but they haven't stopped with that. They haven't stopped with criticizing about it, but they have taken the commitment to make something happen about it. And that speaks of every one of you who's in this room. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So that itself, so hats off to you for who you are in that regard. And so once you've taken those initial steps, I mean, we would like to see how we can aid you in that journey in terms of connecting you to impact investors, connecting you to mentors, connecting you to technology resources, and whatever else that you need to scale to grow your impact. So that's kind of the brief background, and this past year has been a pretty kind of eventful year. One of the things that you observe being a member of the social innovation ecosystem is the whole movement has received a lot of hype and buzz. So that's good for the sector. A lot more people are getting interested in this. A lot more people are starting new things. But there are a few ways in which I'd like to kind of highlight how Action for India is different. So I already talked to you, the focus being on youth. And you read in the newspapers, you heard politicians speak about all this demographic dividend, how India has 500 million people below 25 years of age, and you are the people that are going to kind of make a difference to the country's future. So all that is true. It might seem cliche and hackneyed, but that's very much a fact. So Sam had this very powerful vision that, it's the youth of the country that's going to kind of make a difference to the country's trajectory, and that's the reason he sowed this seed of inspiration. Get 100 of these people together, and they will learn from each other. Just that energy, those vibrations of the people in the room will make a difference, and they don't need to hear to politicians or experts. Just them being together will make a difference. So that was kind of the powerful seed, and that's how you are together here. And so the focus on the youth is very clearly one differentiator for the Action for India Forum. The second thing is the focus on leveraging technology and government. So given Sam's own profile, as the father of modern Indian telecom, he helped launch the telecom revolution back in the 80s when he was a cabinet minister in the late Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi's cabinet. And so if today we have 900 million cell phones and the fastest growing telecom market in the world, a lot can be traced back to the work that he did in the 80s with the setting up of the CDOT, CDAC, and so forth. So his background, his profile is a powerful inspiration in terms of to see how technology can make a difference to the social development scenario in India. And also, he very clearly is involved with the government. He's an advisor to the Prime Minister, and he's involved with the public information infrastructure departments. He's the chairman of the National Innovation Council and so forth. So we'd like to leverage the government as a partner. You need not wait to receive funds from them, but the government is such a powerful distribution partner that I think it's, especially in India, you cannot think of achieving any significant scale without partnering with them, without interfacing with them in any shape or form. So those are the two things that we differentiate ourselves. And the one final thing that I'd like to kind of mention about this differentiation is the focus we have in leveraging the Indian diaspora. So I spent the last 3 months in the US, and we've had a chance to kickstart the Silicon Valley chapter of Action for India. And again, as some of you might know, the Silicon Valley has a huge concentration of Indian origin entrepreneurs, executives, and investors. And quite a few of them have a strong interest in connecting to the work that's been happening in India. They want to contribute in any shape or form with respect to the social development stuff that's happening here. And I couldn't think of any better way than connecting them to the young social innovators who are in this room. And they could serve as powerful mentors. They could potentially invest in your enterprises. Those of you who are running for-profit social enterprises, they could give grants to other organizations which are NGOs. And just the powerful networks that they have. I mean, if you're talking about technology in particular, the Valley is the center of technology innovation. And being able to kind of get their insights and their referrals for some of your enterprises, that would be powerful. So we have set up a chapter in Silicon Valley end of October. So there's an on-the-ground team. Chaitanya, who is here with us, he is from Silicon Valley. He's a senior executive with 20 years plus experience in the Valley, and he's part of the core team of the Silicon Valley chapter. And so along with him, there are 4 or 5 other individuals. So this is a very powerful way to be able to kind of connect to the resource back in the US. And in end of November, we had, again, a great event in Boston, where students of MIT and Harvard got together. About 100 of us were there to hear Sam speak. And that could be another resource in terms of being able to kind of either for referrals or for mentorship or even for investment. So this leveraging the Indian diaspora for things that are happening in India, that's the third thing that I want to highlight. So having said this, what I'd like to do next is we are very thankful to the Brahma Kumaris who are hosting us for this weekend. And the Brahma Kumaris is a spiritual organization that was founded back in 1936, about 75 years ago. They've been doing wonderful service in different parts of the world. They have about 9,000 centers in 130 countries around the world. And this weekend has been possible thanks to the generosity. I'd like to request a senior member of the Brahma Kumaris organization, Sister Ranjana, to come to the stage and share with you a few comments. And I'd like Ravi Mantha to introduce her to begin.